They say history repeats itself. Well, coming soon, history will, in fact, repeat itself. It's the return of the Enigma. It's the return of the franchise. And you know I ain't coming alone. I am the hit maker, the record breaker. I got style and grace and a lovely face. I'll make her back crack and your liver quiver. And if you don't get this mess, you got the wrong address. And then there's Johnny, the OG. The hype man, the raging redneck, and Virginia's favorite son. We're coming at you first class, and if you got a problem with it, we'll verbally whip your ass. Cheshire, England, we're coming.
Welcome back to episode 121 of Tall Boy Radio. And if you're from PA or VA or anywhere in the US of A, you're going to go toe-to-toe, nose-to-nose with the Stone Cold Stunner from Stockport. You'll get eliminated in All-Sager. There's nothing royal about this Rumble. There's no summer in this slam. You bring the wrestle, we'll bring the mania. This microphone is our tombstone. We've got the beast from the east of the USA going up against the best from the northwest of the UK. The two titans that are Tall Boy Radio and the Toddcast. And it's only going to go one way. It's podcasting time, brothers.
Oh, man.
Well,
You know what
get that right first.
Oh, I loved it. Loved it.
Hey, real quick, dude. You know what I appreciate from that? The Beast of the East reference. Yeah. My first ever time talking on a microphone ever was for ESPN Radio 1450 out of Williamsport, Pennsylvania. My first assignment was announcing the death of the Beast of the East, Bam Bam Bigelow. So I really freaking appreciate that. That's awesome.
You sure I did click on record there. So, if you haven't guessed, we're joined by a couple of guests from the other side of the pond. Now, the last time they were on, they had this idea that we were going to taste some Magnum from the Reload Rub collection. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So, before we do, let's all say hello and tell us a little bit about what you're drinking. So, do you want to know the regular guys go first?
Yeah, evening, guys. Really looking forward to this. Massively enjoyed last time the guys from over the pond were on with us. So, yeah, not quite sure where it's going to go this episode, but we'll wait and see. And tonight I'm drinking, don't you can see that? It is, I can't quite get Urban Fog. It is. It's one I've drank a couple of times before, about 6.5%. And it is a Brewdog and Mikkeller sort of collaboration. And I really enjoy it. So, yeah. Looking forward to this.
Good man, Andy.
Howdy. I'm on the old classic left, and I'm loving the energy so far.
Good man. So, like I said, we're joined by Todd and Johnny from the Toddcast. So, which one of you guys wants to say hello first?
Simo, hit him, bro.
Well, everybody knows I'm Johnny Simonetti, co-host for Todd Orndorf on the Toddcast, and I am drinking Great Kool-Aid, 0% alcohol, 0% sugar. That is my choice beverage for tonight.
Sounds a bit healthy. Todd?
Did I pick you to be my co-host? What are you doing right now? Kool-Aid?
Kool-Aid.
Oh, that's if anybody's ever listened to my show, I'm a whiskey guy. I am very strong on no flavored whiskey because I just think I'm kind of like a well-dressed cowboy in a way, I guess. But I've actually heard a lot about Screwball. Have you guys ever heard of this?
No, never.
No.
Simo, have you heard about this yet?
No.
If I was gonna pick a flavored whiskey, it would have to be this one, and I'm glad I did. I can't believe I'm even saying that. It's peanut butter flavored whiskey, folks. And there's a rumor going around that, like, if you mix it with something else or whatever, you get yourself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I haven't found the part 2 for that recipe yet, but not gonna lie, it's pretty dynamite. I'm kind of screwing up my own gimmick by drinking something flavored, but it's that good. I'm willing to do so.
Fair play, fair play. Well, the beer I'm drinking tonight is actually in reference to the intro you did for our last podcast. So if you remember the two Titans crossing the Rubicon, well, I picked up a beer which is called exactly that, Crossing the Rubicon.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah. And instead of drinking out of a horn this time, I'm drinking out of a Caesar's Palace pewter goblins. I don't know, Roman style goblin, whatever you call it. So I thought I'd try something else.
Oh, the goblets, not goblins.
I was about to say it would be a goblet, not a goblin. A goblin is something very different.
Drinking out of a goblin is completely different.
It is, and it's not recommended. So, Todd, do you want to remind us of the concept then, for this episode?
For this one, so we have had a very good friendship with a company called Reload Rub and Seasoning for nice hat, by the way.
Thank you.
For myself personally for 6 years now. Actually, these people right here, folks, for all you guys watching, Reload Rub and Seasoning. And just so happens, these boys over in the UK, they were able to get their hands on some, thanks to Johnny Simo and Joel and Stacey over at Reload Rub and Seasoning. And this is the Magnum flavor, and this is what we're all going to try today. These boys have been waiting to try Magnum until we got back on air, and it just so happens today's the day.
Absolutely, yeah. We haven't tried this yet. We've tried we tried all the other ones, to be honest with you. And to be fair, we've been pretty impressed. But yeah, so tonight, actually, do you want to tell us what you guys have been cooking, and then we'll talk you through our limited culinary skills.
Tonight I went porterhouse, and charcoal grill is the only way that I will grill. I'm a big, like smoky flavor guy and all that. So I got the charcoal ready, threw on a couple pieces of hickory to get a little bit of flavor going, and then I topped it off with peppers and onions fried in bacon grease, a quick fry, and then over the steak, pour everything out, peppers, onions, the bacon grease for a little extra flavor, and the kapow on top. You know what I mean? That's what I did. Simo, you, buddy.
Nice.
I just got a T-bone from Halterman Family Meats. I've been saving it, coated it with Magnum, and put it on the old Cuisinart flat top grill, and for about 10 minutes. And I sent Andy a message, say, "Hey man, I'm ready." Or Adam. I sent Adam a message and said, "Dude, I'm ready whenever you all are."
Yeah, the dude's getting hungry, so we won't keep you too much longer. But what have you guys been cooking then?
Yeah, so again, steak. So we did some steak, and again, sort of medium heat. Throw some of the Reload Rub on. I did a feta and rainbow couscous salad to go with it, with some baby potatoes and some sautéed mushrooms. Honestly, it was lovely. And obviously we're going to review the sort of rub shortly. But yeah, to say I enjoyed it is a little bit of an understatement. It was very, very good.
Have you eaten?
You already ate.
Dude, yeah, I ate. I've eaten mine. I've eaten mine already. So
Dude, the whole idea was to do it on the podcast.
No, I've eaten mine. I cooked the whole family. So sorry, guys. I've eaten mine already.
That's why the camera didn't work earlier. He's still
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Good looking
He was
out.
wiping the grease off his mouth.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Andy?
So I did a selection. So I've got a sirloin steak. I'd put it on some chicken and a bit of halloumi as well. So I thought I'd try on different products. Yeah, I've eaten it as well, to be fair, but I've still got a plate ready to go.
Are we starving ourselves? Are we starving ourselves for no reason, guys? Like,
Todd, it's 10:20 in the evening, mate. I'm like, I can't eat a massive big full meal now. No chance.
Gotcha. All, but I haven't tried it yet. So I've done a couple of things. Like, I can't eat steak, as I explained before. Years of vegetarianism, unfortunately, meant I can't handle meat like that. So I've done some beef kofta kebabs, which are coated in it, and I've also, you're going to hate me for this one now, Johnny and Todd, I apologize, but I've done some breaded tofu in Magnum.
Excuse me.
Go.
Well, folks, thanks for the invitation. This has been fun. I greatly, all this anticipation for being back in Cheshire, England, and we're having tofu tonight.
Kick him from the call.
End call. Boot him off.
Yeah, I have got the beef as well. I have got the beef here. I've got to say, this is good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait, are we eating now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys dig in. Yeah.
I didn't know anybody said go. I'm here just staring at it.
Oh, I don't know if you've noticed. I've been munching.
Yeah.
Johnny's been munching for the last 5 minutes. He's taking
Yeah.
sneaky bites. Look at him.
Gas started 2 hours ago, so I think we're okay.
So I did miss something on this actually. My porterhouse is in so the Magnum, but I did the peppers and onions in the bacon grease, topped with a heavy coat of high caliber from Reload Rub. So highly recommend if you guys have never done that.
I've also made a dip as well, and I've made a dip out of the packing heat, so it's got a nice bit of spice to it.
Yes.
So it goes really nicely with it. So, guys, do you want to tell us a little bit about your food then when you tried it earlier?
Really enjoyed it. It was lovely. It was obviously we tried a couple of other the different rubs. So that Johnny obviously good enough to send over, and they've all been great. The packing heat is phenomenal. Double action and high caliber, I think, were the two of my favourites. So basically, they were the three. Tonight, the steak was lovely. I mean, obviously, you can't overcook steak. You've got to make sure that it's nice and sort of, I say, medium rare, so nice and pinky, juicy. But the rub on top, it just gave it that nice little bit, almost like a slightly peppery sort of coating. It honestly, it was absolutely delicious. It was lovely, and absolutely 100%. The wife enjoyed it. The kids enjoyed it. They were like, "We're definitely going to do this again." Said it absolutely added to the flavour of the meat. So yeah, absolutely loved it. Beautiful stuff.
I've got to be honest, I'm pretty impressed with the Magnum. The one that I liked the most of before was I think it might have been the high caliber, actually.
Yeah.
No, it was the full metal jacket. I really like that high caliber, but that full metal jacket, I love that one, and the wife loved that one as well. She thought that was phenomenal. We put it on everything. Same as the ballistic. The ballistic as well. That literally goes on everything. That was the one when I first pulled them out of the packet. It was the one that I wasn't that excited about, but I have to say that it was one of the ones that I enjoyed the absolute most. It was awesome. Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. The packing heat was incredible again, but again, it's strange because there's lots of sort of heat spices out there and stuff, but the double action and the high caliber were the chipotle one, was it the chipotle and garlic one was superb, absolutely superb. The bagel one, what was the bagel one that
Ballistic?
The ballistic, probably my least favourite out of them. It was okay. My daughters much more enjoyed that actually, but I was not a huge fan of that one. But yeah, all the others were great.
I'm willing to bet that I could change your mind on the ballistic and have that not be the very least one. So, one of my cooking is like my favorite freaking hobby. Okay. So I challenge you to get some fresh green beans. All right.
Yeah.
Fry them up in bacon grease. Okay. Or butter. It doesn't matter. I prefer the bacon grease because I do keto. And then a couple splashes of soy. And then just pepper that thing with ballistic and a decent amount of salt, not too much. Stir that stuff up, fry that up. I guarantee you ballistic will not be down here.
Okay. That's a definite give that a go then.
Yeah,
100%.
What about yourself, Andy? How are you going on with that bad boy?
I love it. It just sat next to me, and I could just smell it. And then I was thinking, I've already eaten it, but I need this bit now. Can we get to the eating? Yeah, it's just everything about it. The smell, the flavour, like even after you've like chewed it and swallowed it, you get like a little aftertaste, and it's just like, oh my god, amazing.
Yeah, very good.
It is. It's good.
here's something I'm actually kind of curious in. So everybody's different. Everybody's palates are different. Textures, I think, for some people. Out of all 5 of us, okay, is there anybody here who eats their steak well done?
No. You're not allowed to. It's against the law, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That's what
It
I'm
is.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure there was no. I mean, I like you guys. I don't want to think any of you are weird or nothing. You know what I mean?
Tofu. It's okay.
Never mind. Never
It's
mind.
okay to
Keep
think we're
going.
weird.
Yeah. I still can't believe I'm on a show with someone eating freaking tofu.
But he did put Magnum on his tofu.
That's it. And that's
Okay.
the thing. The reason why I chose tofu to do it as well, because it is bland and it is tasteless. So whatever you put on it, it tastes purely of that. There is, so you're not, if you stick it on the meat, obviously you got the flavor of the meat as well. And that's all. That's fantastic. But by sticking it on the tofu, you just get to taste the Magnum. And I got to tell you, it's really good, especially with a nice crisp texture. The panko breadcrumbs that I put on there as well.
You know what I would
Still
have
not
done?
sold.
I would have just taken a bowl, put some panko in it, dumped this stuff in, and started spooning it. Then why even have the tofu?
Yes, fair point. That's fair point.
Just wondering, brother.
All right, so I'm curious. Other than beans, who else here has had tofu before?
Beans has actually served me tofu before when he was going through a vegetarian phase. So after a night out on a beer, we went back to Beans' place, and I don't know whether was it a tofu curry or something, or there was something or other, and it was an interesting sort of taste and texture. Let's just put it like that. It was so good. I don't think I've actually tried it again. Now, whether that was because Beans cooked it, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know.
So in other words, you said you were out a night after beer, so you were drunk.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
I must have been drunk to taste it in the first place. Yeah, it's chicken. It wasn't chicken.
It tastes like chicken.
Everything tastes like chicken, doesn't it?
The same.
If somehow me and Johnny ever make it over to you guys for any reason or whatever, just to let you know I ain't coming over for dinner because I don't know what the heck I mean.
It's weird going back to what you said about sort of well done steak. My mum, sorry mum, bless her, passed a number of years ago now, but she would always have steak well done. She'd go into a restaurant, she'd say, "Oh, can you cremate it?" So literally it'd be like, "Can you effectively?" That was what she said. That was the phrase. "Can you cremate the steak?" And for years I'd sort of had well done steak because you sort of drink what your dad used to drink and you ate what your mum used to eat, and so for years, and it's only really, I say, growing up, maybe sort of late teens, that you start to think actually it tastes it's a bit rubbery. There's no real taste to the meat, and then you go then towards the medium, and now I'm much more medium rare type. It's got to be pink and juicy and lovely. But for years, my mum would just have well done steak, and she would literally say, "Can you just cremate it?" And it wasn't just a couple of minutes each side. It was like 10 minutes each side. It came out really leathery. It was like, oh man, like all the taste had just gone out of the meat completely. Yeah, it was awful.
Hey, here's my rule with that. When you're done eating steak, like your jaw shouldn't be more defined than it was before you sat down. You know what I mean? Like this. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to look like I need tested for PEDs because my freaking jowls are out to here now.
Yep. One of my favorite sayings from a movie when it comes to steak is from how they want their steak cooked is from Cowboy Way. Knock its horns off, wipe dirty little ass on a plate.
Yeah. He literally just sear it for a few seconds each side. Just make sure that it's actually not going to sort of bleed all over you. I don't mind a bit on the plate, but when you're picking up, you don't want it still moving, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like you just sear it, couple of minutes, done.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's got to be on high heat though, because folks, color means flavor. You know what I mean? Get that Tarski on there and then devour.
Yeah. Amen to that.
That may be the first bit of useful advice we've ever had on this podcast. I don't know.
Useful or useless?
Useful. Definitely
useful.
useful.
Okay,
That was useful.
right.
It's normally
That is-
useless. Yeah, normally useless. But I think the third thing we need to say as well, though, Johnny, is a massive, massive thank you for sending this out to us at quite a personal cost as well, because it ain't cheap posting stuff over to the UK from the US. So we massively, massively appreciate you sending that out to us. Usually so.
Dude, it was my pleasure. I knew we had to get your hands on some. No matter what it was, you were going to get some reload. So
Hugely appreciate it.
Glad to do it.
I had my cousin over from Texas as well, and he tried it as well while he was here, and he was pretty impressed with it. He brought us some of his rub as well that he uses. So he uses a rub called Chupacabra. It's the same one Tiddy and Shana use, funnily enough. Yeah,
Yep.
He's in Texas there, just a little bit north in Oklahoma. Yeah, so he was pretty impressed with it.
Good.
So,
How's that food going down, guys? Troughing well there. Is it all good?
Almost done.
Oh, yeah, almost done now.
Yeah.
I'm about to order a second. You know what I mean?
Well,
Andy, is yours gone yet, Andy? No, I assume you just trough yours, have you?
Oh yeah, I just sucked it all in. It's beautiful.
Well, I told y'all before we started, we literally had just got back, back home from eating. We took my wife out for Mother's Day, and we went to a restaurant called the Depot. And I always order steak, and we get there, and I'm like, I'll take the honey glazed salmon. She looked at me. I said, "Babe, I'm fixing steak as soon as I get home. I'm eating fish."
all surf and turf. Fair play to you, dude. Fair play to you.
Like,
So one thing that we need to let our listeners know as well is that we're now back on TikTok. And obviously we follow Todd. And Todd, you have got a ridiculous following on TikTok. I mean, it's huge.
You know why? It's really simple.
Go on.
It's all about trying to get people to click a link. That's all that it is. That's literally all. It's fun. It's whatever. But I mean, I think we got. I think it's 37.9 thousand followers or something like that. Literally, 39.7 thousand followers is what it is. I just want people to click my link. So you know what? Do whatever. Have some fun. It's a nice little release. If you did what I up until Friday did for a living, then you know what, you would need a release and find a way to laugh at yourself, whatever. And so yeah, we're almost at 40K. Get there and click my link.
Absolutely, yeah. We've added to that. And I tell you, we've been back on for 2 days. And I tell you, you get some choice DMs on there, don't you?
Do you want to explain a couple of the choice DMs that you've had?
I've had 3 offers of sex. I've been looking into flights to Nicaragua. It ain't worth it, you know. And then we had some dude who wanted to be our sugar daddy. What is it about these 3 faces that would make? How old must you be to be our sugar daddy? It was weird.
It's frightening, isn't it?
Oh, dude. You know, after
Let's
Twitter.
toast. Wait, hold on. Let's toast to the TikTok studs, gentlemen. I mean, you guys are getting DMs from. I mean, nobody knows how many genders there are nowadays. So you know what? Freaking.
Yeah, I don't know what gender we're, but
Here's to you guys.
cheers. Hey, dude, we got sent dick pics on Twitter.
oh,
I don't what is it about the Tall Boy Radio podcast that makes people think we'd be interested in that?
oh my gosh!
You've just nearly made them spit out their food there, dude. Come on.
Sorry, sorry.
Dude,
Meal time.
I'm telling you right now that my night has been made. That is hilarious. That is hilarious.
Yeah, well, see, Gaz's daughter had set an offer to do the Twitter and the social media for us, and then I'm getting messages to go. She's going to be looking back through these and thinking, "The hell's that dude into?"
What kind of show does my dad really do? You know.
Yeah. He says he just talks to people, but I'm not so sure now.
Now, there's an ongoing trend with our appearance on your show. You see, last episode, I mean, because talking about the dick references or whatever. Like last time we had Hot Pockets covering something. Now we got something going on here with something from Twitter happening. I'm like, I don't know about you guys, but that's not exactly the route that I think we need to continue to have. No. That's just not my jam.
Yeah.
But
if
that means people are checking out your pages, though, so congratulations.
Yeah.
it means something, I guess. But yeah, that moment from last time, and maybe we'll tag it back on it. No, we'll just invite people to go back and review that one. But that's one of people's favourite moments about Tall Boy Radio. Johnny and his Hot Pockets from last time, you guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had to screenshot it, and now I got a poster above my bed. So thanks, Simo.
You're welcome.
I had to blow it up really, really big though for it to even be exciting. Just so you know.
It wasn't a big box of Hot Pockets. It wasn't the family size.
There is an image. Well, one thing we've got to ask you about as well, Johnny, because I've seen a few pictures that you shared online today. That car of yours that you're getting done. Do you want to tell our listeners about that? Because that looks incredible.
It's getting there. I'm hoping within another month I'll be done. I picked up a set of wheels and tires for it yesterday. It was the style of wheel I was looking for. I found it on a buddy of mine actually found them on Marketplace, and the guy was like an hour and 15 minutes away. I said, dude, that's what I'm looking for. I said I can be there first thing in the morning, and I went and picked them up yesterday, and I think they're going to set the car off. It looks really good.
Yeah. Do you want to tell listeners a little bit about the make and model of it so that they can picture in it?
It's a 72 Chevelle, 396 big block, and I bought it last July. Been working on it, for almost a year, and I decided to paint it dark candy apple red, and that's about all I can say. I've got it all wet sanded. I got to finish buffing the car yet, and then finish putting it back together. So hopefully, like I said, within another month, I'll have it done.
Fair play. Yeah. It does look absolutely incredible. And obviously, I've heard from Big Titty as well. He is well impressed with that guitar that you sent him because you did his guitar, didn't you, in the same color?
I did.
It looks amazing. It looks absolutely amazing. So fair play, dude.
I did. Thank you. I appreciate it. I did a little something extra on Titty's guitar. He just said he wanted it candy red. And then I got into my head. I was like, it's a guitar. I can do something, something different. So I actually marbleized his guitar and then candy red over top of that with him not knowing, I was just hoping he would like it. And he said he loved it. So it turned out real good. He was tickled.
Yeah, I don't blame him. So one thing we're going to get you guys on. Last time we got you on, we never really got into politics. I thought I'd stick my MAGA cap on tonight just to get you guys excited. And so Biden, how's that working out for you?
Well, to be honest with you, we really don't pay attention to what they do. So we really don't have an opinion on politics or that schmuck Biden.
I do. I have an opinion of him.
Just kidding. Yeah. Well, first of all, the guy's a bum. He's I don't know. He's like, I don't know, like our Justin Trudeau. I don't know. He's horrible. But this is the part where like I really like Johnny to talk about stuff because he's so good at getting banned at everything that he touches. And but the one good thing about being a podcast host is, it's only happened to me one time. It was a long time, but it's really hard to get banned from podcasting. You can pretty much say what you want, unless it's about PETA and Humane Society. But this is where like Johnny thrives when it comes to this stuff. I like to rant and rave and just spew and say stuff, but this is when Johnny freaking shines. So we're gonna. You said you wanted to ask us. This one's for Johnny for sure.
My opinion of Biden is he's about as worthless as tits on a boar hog. And that's the God's honest truth.
I love you, dude.
He's a freaking pedophile, man. I hate that dude.
I think he's going to see his term out then. Do you think he's going to go full term?
Oh, they don't want Camel Toe Harris in there, so yeah, he probably will. I mean, you got the pedo Joe Biden or headboard Harris. Come on. Neither one of them is a pick. Neither one of them is pick of the litter. And then who's next?
Up Harris is not a good choice.
No. And who's next in line? The Crypt Keeper, Nancy Pelosi? Come on. We're screwed.
Yeah. Does anybody in the UK need a roommate? Because we're kind of looking to maybe get out of here right now for a little while.
Dude, the politics is no better over here.
No.
The politics is no better over here.
No.
We've got Boris Johnson who's still clinging on to power, telling us exactly what we can and can't do during lockdown and doing exactly the opposite himself. And don't get me wrong, everybody knew it was going on at the time. But yeah, the fact that he's unapologetic about it, it's unacceptable. It is unacceptable. I won't vote Conservative. Well, I probably won't vote again, to be honest with you. Everything I've seen about the whole political process, I don't want to get involved with it. I don't want to be a part of that.
Have you guys over there sort of picked up on the old sort of party gate and Boris Johnson and what he's done and what he's allegedly done? Have you guys heard of it at all or not?
I haven't.
To be honest with you, not exactly.
No, there's too much bullshit going on over here for us to worry about anywhere else.
Well, to be fair, there's quite a lot of BS going on over here as well. It's so basically during COVID, obviously they said you can't go out, you can't meet indoors. There was all these regulations that they said that they put in place, and then it just so happens that actually Boris Johnson and all of his people in Number 10 Downing Street were having parties in the background, and they were all meeting in gardens, and they were having cheese and wine, and there's various videos and pictures of them, and it's like, no, it wasn't a party. It was just a social work gathering, and you're like, come on, for fuck's sake. Like, you can't be telling the whole population not to do it, and then you actually are doing the thing that you're telling everybody else not to do.
That sounds familiar. I think the same thing's happened here.
Yeah. Are you? I thought you looked familiar. Do you live down the street right now? I got someone who looks crew cut and all. Looks just like you.
Yeah, it's the whole do as we say, not as we do thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There's been a hell of a lot of that going on. And like I say, like I says, it's not just don't meet up, don't have parties. It was you can't go to funerals. You know what I mean? They're limiting the number of people who go to a funeral and and send your dearly departed off. And yet, they're meeting them and having. Well, they said it was just cheese and wine while they were having a meeting. It's unacceptable. It is unacceptable. Yeah. It's unforgivable. And don't get me wrong, Keir Starmer on the opposition doing exactly the same. So there's no one's any better than anybody else, and that's what you come to expect with politics and the media as well. You know what I mean? And the fact that they aren't sticking the boot in like they should be because he's got them in the back pocket.
Well, they're just not accountable, are they? That's the problem. Is that none of the media outlets are truly neutral. They're always either one side or the other, so you always get the propaganda and you never get people being accountable for their actions, and it's just a shit show, isn't it, really? So it sounds like you guys are obviously sort of similar boat to us in terms of your politics. It's just an absolute shit show from start to end. So
that it is.
Yeah, that's all that is. And I love the fact that being a podcast falls into the category of entertainment / media and stuff, right? I mean, we talk, people listen. That's entertainment. We covered a lot of the same stuff that you're gonna see if you turn on Fox and CNN, but from a different perspective, from two dudes who honestly, frankly, doesn't give a shit about what anybody thinks about what we say. I think if you hear us talk about some things, that we don't care what your grandma, who might be hearing in the background, like what she thinks about what we say. We don't care. It feels good. Maybe you guys can attest to this, but it feels good, at least for us, that we get on here and people know that we're not BSing about our thoughts. We are very strong on our thoughts on Joe Biden and Heels Up Harris. And I made a song about Nancy Pelosi, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to be in the same genre as all that. And people actually know, all right, what these guys are saying, this is actually how they feel. They're not getting a paycheck from a network. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah,
the world needs so much more of just not being afraid. This cancel culture, PC stuff can kiss my ass. We will never be like that, ever.
No.
Yeah. No. I think that's the right way to be. I really do. We haven't, like I say, it's difficult to get banned from podcasting, but myself and Andy did an episode, and we got kicked off Facebook for 3 weeks. You can listen to our podcast. I mean, they're coming off now anyway, so I don't suppose it really matters. But yeah, we made a joke about COVID and vaccinations and the fact that Gaz was off after getting vaccinated and had COVID, and we were due to have a guest on who had also been vaccinated and had COVID, and that we were making a joke like, those vaccinations really pulling off for those boys. You know what I mean? They took us off Facebook for 3 weeks.
Yep.
You're off for 3 weeks. Johnny's only allowed on Facebook 1 week a month because he's off for 3 weeks every month. So you guys are going in the right direction. Got a little work to do to keep up the momentum to deal with my wonderful co-host here.
Hey, I have tried. There have been some posts that I made. I was like, oh, that's got me for sure. Knock on wood, I had not been banned in a while.
No.
since teaming up with this guy, now it took a while. It took like a couple years. He's coming up on his 3rd year on the show, which, by the way, Johnny, 3 years. It's on its way up. So, but like now I've gotten banned since I've been on the mic with this guy. So I posted this picture. I posted this picture of my beautiful little girl, and somebody said, "Hey, look, you're going to be in trouble in a couple years, right?" And I said, "Screw that! I'll kick little Timmy's ass on the playground. I don't care if he's 2. You know what I mean? Like some 2-year-old trying to mack on my daughter. I'm sorry, bring your dad on over here, you know." And I got booted off for 14 days.
Wow.
I mean, of course, I was kidding to a degree, but
no, you weren't.
No, he said, "No, you weren't."
No, you weren't.
I'm a trained pro wrestler, but I don't do that stuff anymore. I got to use it somewhere. You know what I mean? Why not on little Timmy's dad?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the 3-year-old. Put them skills to use, buddy.
That's right.
You just got to be big suplexes like this. She's like, "Here we go."
Yeah. David versus Goliath.
So while you're on as well, guys, we didn't really give you guys an opportunity to ask us anything the last time you were on. So if there's anything you want to ask any of the 3 of us, now's the time to fire away.
Well, can I start? Does anyone care if I start? All right. Because I got to know, since we got on here, where did you get your shirt? Adam, where did you get your shirt?
This shirt is all the way from the US of A. This one, I bought this in the fight shop in the Miracle Mile shops in Las Vegas.
How old is that thing?
They had a selection of vintage shirts at the back, so I picked up a few of them while I was there. So yeah, it's old. You can tell it's like really faded. So yeah, they had like vintage shirts at the back. Literally, most of that shop is like fighting equipment. I just went in to have a little bit of a nose around, and at the back of the shop they had these wrestling T-shirts, and I said to the wife, "I need to make some room in my suitcase for some of these bad boys."
Yeah. The son of a plumber, the American dream, Dusty Rhodes, baby. Yeah, that's a freaking Lily.
I'm not 100% sure that I can quite sell that to Jenny though. I'm heading over to the States sort of this summer, so I'm not quite sure that conversation will go down. Oh, I'm just strolling into Las Vegas. Oh, what are you looking for? Yeah, vintage wrestling shirts. Yeah, no, I'm not so sure that conversation is going to work, if I'm honest, but you never know.
I saw it totally marked out. That's why I asked you, hey, have we started yet? Because I was just going to go off on the shirt. Like a week and a half ago, I was watching his documentary, and it just so happens now on A&E, they're coming out with the documentary on the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. It's not out yet. It's on its way. So
Wow.
if it was turned around, I'd tip it to you. But it's not.
Well, I think last time you guys on the Hulk Hogan one, I bought that from exactly the same shop. You know, it's another classic one. There's a couple others tucked away there for the next time you guys come on.
Nice.
Nice, right. Anyway, Johnny, Todd, on a completely different note, how's the golf, fella? Are you managing to play much or not? Or
I've gotten in 4 full rounds. Today was going to be good, but the earliest time, my home course is about a half hour away from me.
right.
It's a place called Bell Springs Golf Course in Mackeyville, Pennsylvania. If anybody out there is in PA, go play Bell Springs. It's the nicest public course within 200 miles of where I live. No, I've been hitting really well. I think I got 281 so far this year and 83 and 84. Okay. But you know, 81 right out of the gate, first round of the year, I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But here today, you know, like it's Mother's Day. I knew my kid's mom would be having Lola. So I'm like, all right, tea time. I call him up thinking it'd be slow, right? Like, people, go home, stay with your wives, right? Do the right thing or whatever. So I'm like, I can just slide in whenever I want to. 12:40 was the earliest tea time I could get. And was a little bit of pressure, they said. So it possibly could have been like 3.5 to 4 hour round because of everybody there, which would have made me done at 4:40. We recorded at 5, so I said, we'll just 86 this here today, and I'm playing tomorrow, though.
All right, good work. Nice work.
But my scores have been good, but I want to tell you. I want to share a little story with you guys. I don't think I got to share it with Simon yet. Maybe I did. I'm the only guy, I swear to God, in golf history. This is so embarrassing. I like to think I'm a seasoned vet on the course. You know, I've been playing since I was about 15 years old, and I'm the only guy that's ever ran himself over while driving a golf cart.
You posted something on social media. I can't remember when it was, and I was like, how does that actually happen? I think I replied with like a gif of a guy sort of driving a cart. But how does that actually happen? I can't fathom how it works.
Me neither. But let me explain what happened. Can we just get a show of hands real quick out of anybody who's ever ridden in a golf cart? You kidding me? 60% of the group? All right. So, anyhow, all right. So, you two, if you're riding in a golf cart, do you keep both feet in, or do you have one outside of the cart just dangling?
One outside, just hanging all the time.
All the time, right? That's kind of how the game works. You just go out there and you just do this.
Yep.
So, I'm with my boss, right? We're after work. We're going to play 9 or whatever. And so I'm going down this little, like, stone path. We just teed off. Heck of a drive, by the way. And he's like, hey, quick, turn and go to the porta potty. I'm driving because I don't trust him at all. Drive. And I don't trust myself now either. How about that? So the porta potty's to the left. So I'm turning, and it was in this like unmowed grass, right? It's tall. I'm talking tall. And I got brand new cleats on. So I'm going, my legs out there just flowing in the wind, baby, you know, and all of a sudden it was like all the grass wrapped up around my cleats. And my shoe got caught underneath the floorboards. And I thought I broke my ankle. Like it sucked me up, like it sucked me out of the cart. Like freaking sucked me out of the cart. My leg got ran over. I'm flopping like a crappie on a bass boat. Like I don't know what the heck's happening. No, I still had three holes to go, but all because my leg was out there and got caught in the grass. I ran myself over driving a golf.
Wow, it is impressive.
That's awesome.
Very impressive.
I would love to have had that on camera.
Well, yeah. I'm sure you would have, jerk. No, not only was so my boss was beside me, and no, that's not the worst part. So I worked up until Friday. I worked until this with the largest hospital chain in the United States. Oh, in the world, actually. In the world. Just so happens there was a lady from corporate with us. She came. She was a golfer. Asked if anybody golfed. We golf all the time. So, like, yeah, come along. No problem. We love it. We do it all the time. So a lady from my corporate office is there and sees me get run over. So I'm sure she was questioning why I was ever hired to begin with. But, yeah. So.
Yeah. I think you probably are one of the only guys, the only guy that I know that actually has run himself over. Whether or not in the world, I don't know. But certainly the only, I've seen people run other people over. Yeah, absolutely. But maybe you're the only guy that I know that actually has managed to run himself. So fair play to you, Todd. Fair play, fella. But did you take the money off your boss, though? That was the thing. Did you finish the 3 holes and did you take the money off your boss?
We tied.
Oh, okay.
We tied. So.
Okay. Very, very magnanimous of you.
Yeah, I know. He couldn't even beat a handicap.
That's what I would have said when we were having a beer afterwards. What do you mean you couldn't even beat me? I'm playing with one leg. Come on.
I'm telling you, it hurt. I swear to the heavens above, like I called off the next day because my ankle was like this freaking big. You know, it was like Andre's. Yeah. It's like Andre the Giant's thigh down there. It's horrible. So,
Gaz, do you remember a guy called Brian Harvey from E17? He did that himself.
I know where you're going with this.
But it wasn't a golf cart. He did it in his own car. He was driving his own car, fell out and ran himself over. I don't even know how that happens.
Yeah, I'm still not 100% sure exactly how that story happens. But yeah, actually not a golf cart, a genuine car, and he's fallen out and run himself. You haven't done that, Johnny, no.
I did not run myself over, but yes, I did fall out of a vehicle 55 miles an hour while I was driving. Yes. And have the scars to prove it.
Who were you running from?
No one.
Okay.
Quick, it's the fence, quick.
Dude, I was going around a right-hand turn, and I set my arm down on my armrest to set myself up in the seat. And when I did, the door flew open. Out the door I went, dude. 55 miles an hour. Yeah. Yeah, that's.
I assume somebody else was in the. Was somebody else in the car then, or not? Or no.
No, I was by myself, luckily, because when I fell out, of course, I had a death grip on the steering wheel. So when I fell, I jerked the steering wheel to the right. I was driving a Dodge Ram Charger. It clipped a cedar tree, and the guy had a Chevrolet. And a Ford truck parked side by side in his driveway. I T-boned the Chevrolet and shoved it into the Ford. Totaled all three vehicles in one shot: a Dodge, a Chevy, and a Ford.
Oh wow!
Wow.
That is the American dream.
I was. I tell you what, I was tore up. Like I said, I got the scars to prove that one.
Oh, no doubt, dude.
How can you imagine? Jeez.
Didn't break anything, but I had third-degree burns on my arm, my back, and my stomach. It was
Wow.
this day.
2010. I never told this story on air. This is really freaking embarrassing because I like to think of myself as a man, and I kind of did something I feel like every man should know, but I didn't. I got drugged by a car starting it. So here's what happened. 2010, I was seeing this girl, and we were at her friend's house, and their driveway was like this, right? And she backed up. So the nose of the car is pointing down, and it's a stick shift. I can honestly say I didn't know how to drive a stick shift till 2015. Legit. I never had to growing up, whatever. So I thought you could, just go in and turn the thing on or whatever. Well, so it's super cold outside. It's Pennsylvania this time of year. And I reach in, I turn the thing on, and the sucker starts moving. Like, I think the e-brake had to be on, right? If it's a stick shift. I don't know. Anyhow, the car freaking moved. And I'm like trying to stop it. I'm trying to get in, hit the brake or whatever. Well, I can't get it to it for some reason. Pardon me. So I'm like holding on for dear life. I'm trying to steer it because right across from the driveway was this other driveway. So the one that we were at goes down, flattens out just the width of a road. And then there's another driveway that goes down with this humongous freaking deck, like 12 foot high. So there's posts, like 12 foot high, and there's two cars in their driveway. So I'm getting down and I'm getting drugged. I'm holding on to the steering wheel and it's like dragging my chest. I'm bleeding all over the place. And I'm driving and I get down. I'm like down to the road from the driveway. And I just pull the steering wheel. I like stop, drop, and roll type deal, whatever. And thankfully I didn't hit any of the cars, but they had this really nice lamppost right in the middle of their driveway and a rock wall right beside it. And I went halfway over the rock wall, took out the light, and I was just cut up from the gravel and everything else like that. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Keep me away from motors.
Well, you've obviously heard about Gaz and his ventures on a BMX as well, haven't you?
Yes.
That was going to be my question. How your shoulder was
I wondered how long it would be. We've got to about 15 minutes in. It hasn't been mentioned. I was like, come on. Can we get to the whole episode?
When Beans asked if we had any questions, that was going to be my questions. How you were getting along?
Yeah, no, I'm all good. I don't know how long I am now post-op. I must be, I don't know, 11 weeks, maybe 10 weeks post-op. You won't be able to see, but basically I've got a nice sort of scar to here where the plate's gone in.
Yep, I see it.
But I feel good. I'm managing to swing a golf club, play golf okay. I'm back at work as normal. So yeah, no, I'm feeling good. It hurt at the time. As soon as I did it, I knew when I went over, I'd done something like, shoulder and sort of ribs, and I was a bit like, oh, it's so winded. But yeah, I'm feeling good now, mate. Yeah, it's sort of it's put me off BMXing for a while. Well, I'll say for a while, forever. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably not gonna do that again. I'll be honest with you. But for that one magical second, I was flying. That 1 second, I was in the air, and I was like, "Woo, this is great!" Oh shit, sort of thing. So, yeah, and the kids from school, they were I took a couple of kids and they came running over. They were like, okay. And here's your glasses. I was like, thanks, but I thought my glasses like my shoulders in two pieces. You know what I mean? But it's fine. Thanks very much for your concern. And then obviously, then we had a couple of the bikes. We had to get back in the minibus, and I'm driving this big ass minibus, real heavy steering and gears, and I've obviously my shoulders knackered. And I'm trying to do all the gears, and how I drove it. I mean, adrenaline is a wonderful thing. Yeah, and it was just one of those things. I was like, I've got to get these kids back to the school. I've just got to. I went full on like dad protective mode. I've got to get them back. Got them back to school, and then we've got our science teacher who's an ex-special forces PT instructor, and he just sort of took one look at me and went, "You really need to go to hospital, sunshine. Like you are. that shoulder doesn't look very good." But no, I'm fully recovered. Well, I say fully recovered. It's not quite fully healed. There's still a little bit needs to calcify in the middle, but the plate is doing its job. So I'm all good.
Good. You're back playing golf though, aren't you, dude? You know what I mean? And
yeah, back playing golf.
Has your score been affected at all?
No, not really. Strangely enough, the first time that I played after sort of doing the injury and stuff, I shot a 72, which is a level gross score. Sorry, Todd, I've just seen your face. I apologise. But it hasn't really affected. So I've hit a couple of sort of 73, 74s. My handicap, I'm a scratch handicapper, Todd. So sorry about that.
Sorry, this is just amateur hour over here.
Hey, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I finished 4 under par at the local putt-putt the other day. So, hey.
No, that's very...
Yeah, all right, Ken.
You know what, Johnny? You would probably have beaten me because putting, I'm terrible. I suck at putting. It's terrible. Worst part of my game. So you would probably have beaten me there. So fair play.
You know, Gaz is, he's like a 0 handicap. Freaking Johnny's setting course records. I'm like, I shot at 81, 83, and 84. No big deal.
That's okay. That's okay. So what is your handicap then, Johnny? What did you play? What is it? About 10, something like that?
Last year I was an 11.
Right. Okay.
Okay. I mean, I've been in this. The amount of times I've been in the 70s, like I'm gonna need to borrow some fingers and toes from people, but like I've never been down to.
So have you been
400 like Johnny or like you?
Have you been single figure handicapper then? What's the lowest you've been to then? What's the lowest you got down to?
75.
Oh, okay. Good nudge that is though. Good nudge that is.
My 75 was probably 3 years ago, probably.
Right. Okay.
Speaking of golf, real quick, I don't know if ever. Do you golf?
I was gonna say I've hit like a 75, but it was after 4 holes.
Yeah, I shot 75. Yeah, what did you do back 9?
Yeah. Have you? Okay, I'm gonna just. Can I guess what ball you use?
Yeah, go on.
You a Pro V1 guy?
I am a Pro V1 guy. Yeah.
Okay.
There's so many jokes in that.
Why? Because I know his balls, Johnny.
Yes. You can just see the cogs in Johnny's mind going, Todd knows Gaz's balls.
Don't be jealous. I know his balls, Simon. I've been a Pro V1 guy forever.
Yeah.
Up until last year, I got a couple hats right over there. I switched device.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I have noticed with my swing and all this other jazz that I get a hair more distance off the tee but the same feeling forgiveness around the greens. So yeah. I'm a vice. They're like $12 cheaper too or whatever, but I'm a Vice Pro guy.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys over. They're not huge in the UK. That they're getting bigger, and there's a couple of guys at our golf club that they were Pro V1, Pro V1X guys, and then they said these Vice are similar, they are. But they're much, much, much cheaper. So and they've started using them. There's a couple of guys said they don't quite get the same. A couple of lower handicapper guys said they don't quite get the same feel with the Vice as they do with Pro V1, Pro V1X. But I've always just used Pro V1, so that's just whatever I've used. So
right. I don't know.
But interesting, like higher handicapper guys, my pairs partner, he's plays off 16, 17, and he literally is like Callaway, tailor-made, and then the next hole he loses that, and then he's like he'll pull out a Shrixon, and then the next hole he'll pull out like a Dunlop or a Donnet or Slazenger or whatever it may be, and it doesn't get. He's just like, he said it would be too expensive for him to just use Pro V1s, because he says he does lose quite a few balls. So he said if he's shelling 3-4 balls around, which he quite regularly does, he said it would just be too expensive for him. So he would literally, it's like, if I find any balls on the golf course that aren't Pro V, it's like, right, there you go, you can have them. And he was just, it's like a liquid all sorts. Put you back. It's like, oh, Shrixon, that's the ball of choice for this hole then. But no, I'm just a Pro V1 guy. That's I've just always used them.
Well, you have phenomenal balls.
Thank you very much. from and that means a lot from somebody that knows balls. Thank you very much indeed.
We're talking golf, folks. Just say that.
That was the biggest backhanded compliment I've ever heard. But guys, actually, what we're talking about golf, dude. What do you tell these guys about that tournament? Because Gaz played in a tournament that was actually on TV, so not just like a local channel, on our national channel, dude.
So we played in. This is a couple of years ago. So Sky Sports run an amateur competition, and it's a match play amateur competition. And me and my pairs partner, we managed to qualify 3 into the sort of televised rounds, and we went up to a course up in the northeast, and it was actually televised on Sky Sports. So there's me and my pairs partner. We're playing the 9th. It was a 9 holes. So you play 9 holes, and if you win, you play the next 9 holes, and if you win that, then you play another 9 holes in the final, sort of thing. So we're going up the 9th hole, and we were all square, and we half the 9th hole, and they said, right, it's basically shootout. So you come back down the fairway, 110 yards, which is a terrible distance for me. I hate 110 yards. So come back 110 yards, and it literally is one shot nearest the pin, goes through. Fortunately, I hit like a shot, missed the green left. Wasn't that far away from the pin, but was off the green, so it didn't count. My pair partner, he managed to hit the green. So we managed to get through, and then we walk off the green, and you've got the interviewer there, microphone's like, so do you want to give us your thoughts on the round? I'm like, oh, this is like literally that cameraman and stuff, and it was shown on Sky Sports. So there's me with bloody, I just told him to keep his head down and hit fairways and greens. The typical like loads of sporting cliches that come out, because you've literally got this microphone like shoved in your face, and you've just got no time to think what you're going to say. So it's just like, take one hole at a time, just hit the fairway and concentrate on your shot. But it was good fun. And we got knocked out in the semi-final against a couple of sort of bandit guys. They were, let's say, much better than their handicap. And we won the first couple of holes, and then they won sort of 4 out of the next 5 holes or something, and we got knocked out. But it was a great experience. We went up the whole weekend, and you have to have caddies. You weren't allowed any yardage sort of indicators. You couldn't do like have you got the Bushnell indicators over there, your laser indicators? So you couldn't have any of them. Your rangefinders, absolutely. So you had to sort of, basically you had a card, and you had to sort of mark it out, and you had to walk it out like they do on tour, and it was great, and I've got it on my sort of Sky hard drive, sort of somewhere. It's like there was me giving the interview, and it's just good fun. And it was an amateur comp, and we've won a couple of other things, but never been on TV. But I can say that I've genuinely been on Sky Sports, so that's sort of a bit of a claim to fame, I suppose, golfing wise. So yeah,
that's awesome. I thought you looked familiar.
So if we go and check your Sky dish, it's like oh there's Gaz, there he is. I bet.
His shoulder looks better in this view. He looks a little loose and limber right now. Yeah,
loose as a goose.
And Andy, I must say, beard is still looking impressive, my friend.
Oh, dude.
Cheers. And the bike, the bike looks really good too. I like that.
It's my first ever bike, so I thought I'd get some I could fit on.
Like that.
I struggle with bikes, but it's
good.
Thank you.
I think we need to incorporate the bike into the sort of TBR artwork. Obviously, we've got sort of Andy and his big beard in the centre, and I think that's probably what's maybe attracted, let's just say, some potentially unwanted guests. But I think we need to get. The big motorbike in the middle.
I hope that is it. I hope that is it. It's nothing to do with me or you. I'm okay with that.
Hey! I got to stare at his beautiful beard last night on that mug that you all sent me, because I woke up in the middle of the night sweating like crazy. Man, my sugar had dropped on me. I guess I had pneumonia last weekend, and I guess that's been messing with my sugar all week. I woke up, my sugar was 68, so I went and got some cookies and milk, and I always use that mug, always.
Fair play. Fair play. We appreciate that. Well, that was, like I said, we sent you that, and we sent you the horn as well, dude. I know you got yourself a horn as well, haven't you, Todd?
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Yeah, our show.
Horn and balls.
Our show.
This episode.
At times, our show gets a little horny, and but no, it's cool because he got the horn, and I was like, oh man, that like you had yours, and I was like, that just looks so freaking cool. Johnny gets, I was like, man, that's even cooler. So I'm like, I want to join the party. We have a dear friend of ours, a very loyal listener in Texas. Sent me a horn mug, and it's got a Todd Orndorf on the Toddcast inscribed underneath it, and says it was pretty cool. But I mean, not gonna lie, I'm like, man, these guys got some badass horns. What's it like drinking out of a horn? Sure enough, I get one sent to my house. He gets a mug sent to him. Actually, a tumbler, which is freaking awesome. Simo, my parents listen to this, and do you want to say what it says so I don't get in trouble?
Sure, it's got a picture of Biden, and it looks like a toilet. It looks like a paper towel roll, and it says Biden, the quicker fucker upper. Yes.
So if you guys don't mind, I know this is your show, but shout out to Park Street Designs and Miss Chelsea. She's the one who made them for us. She's the one who gifted them to us. She's an incredible person who likes to she likes to listen, and I guarantee you, she'll watch this. She'll listen to this, and
Thank you, Miss Chelsea.
Chelsea, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Oh, and don't forget the air freshener, the Donald Trump air freshener with the little swoop of the blonde hair that Trump has. I loved it. Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, you've mentioned him, obviously. So assuming that Biden doesn't either stay his course or doesn't get, is Trump like the next guy? He's going to be re-elected? Is he? Is that what's going to happen? Or
no? He shouldn't run. That's just my opinion. They screwed him out of the last one. Why would he run again? I mean, no one's went to jail over the last election. We all knew it was fixed. We all know that's fixed. Too many damn coincidences. Bullcrap. If somebody doesn't go to jail, I don't see the point in even voting in the next election. I really don't. Because
the rhetoric that we get over here is that he was appalled with what went on, and actually he's obviously contemplating running again, and effectively smart money is that yes, he is going to run again. So
here's my take on this, and I kind of I love this man like a brother. I'll say it till the day I die, but I kind of disagree with him on this. Like, I want the dude to run again. I want him to do it because in my mind, when I think of Donald Trump, I think of a middle finger to anybody who has ever tried to doubt him, who has ever tried to say, you can't do that. Well, guess what? F you, bro. I'm doing it. And now I'm president. You know what I mean? And I think for all the haters that he's had, and there's been a boatload, Johnny can attest to that. You guys even know that being the whole way over there. He's a world-renowned figure, and there's all this there, especially during his presidency, for some ungodly reason, there was all this anti-Trump stuff. Well, look at the way the world is now. I don't know what gas is like over there for you guys, but I buy premium and I buy it in gallons, and it's like $5 and I think 35 cents right now a gallon. Biden has nothing to do with that, they say. Okay, whatever. But I think I want him to run again just to save this place and be like, told you so, bitches. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's
just to come back in and
I
go
want
like,
that for him.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you. I would love to see him run. I'd love to see him win. I just until something changes, I mean, nothing has happened from the 2020 election. Nothing has changed. No one has been, brought to justice for that, because we all know it was rigged, and there's no question about it. The 2016 election was rigged. They just didn't expect Donald Trump to get that many damn votes. No one will ever change my mind from that.
I agree.
There's too many people out there like me that had never voted before, did not want to see that bitch Hillary Clinton get president. And we all went out and voted, and they didn't expect Donald Trump to get that many votes. And when has there been an election that actually you stopped voting in the middle of the night and Trump's ahead in 4 states, and then miraculously the next morning he's now behind. Bullshit.
I love it. I love that guy. I'm just saying he's the type of guy, in my mind, if I think of this individual, I think he's a double bird, and he's like, all right, fine, I'll show you again just to show you that I'm the man. That's the perception I have of Sir Donald Trump.
We'll see. I still think there's something else up his sleeve before the next election.
Okay.
I still think he's got something up his sleeve before then.
Well, he started his own social media now as well. I've seen you're on it as well, aren't you, Johnny?
Say again.
He started his own social media now as well, isn't he? Is it the Truth Network or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Truth Social. Yeah, I joined that as well.
Yeah, we can't get that in the UK at the moment, but I'd seen it started in the US.
It'll get there.
I'm sure it will. Yeah,
it will.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you go for it, dude.
It took a while to get actually in it. I mean, it had so many. You got a number at first. I mean, there were so many people signed up for it. They just couldn't, add. It took me like a month to actually get on it. And I mean, it's okay. It's not setting any records for me right now. But I can go on there and post what I want and not worry about getting banned.
Did you think Elon will do that for Twitter?
I hope so. That's freaking great. Sorry, I dropped the F-bomb.
He did.
I think that's great, dude. It's just put the tears in liberal cornflakes, man. I love it.
Do you genuinely think it'll just effectively be the end of censorship, and you can just whatever you want to say, and it's free speech, and you can do say whatever you want, or?
To a point, I think to an extent. I don't think you're going to have as much liberal censorship as you do before. I mean, you can post a fact. All right, so if you post a fact on Facebook right now, if you are 2 numbers off, if you say 478 votes did this, and it's actually 476, you get flagged with partly false content.
Yeah.
But if you're against Donald Trump or you're for Biden, you can post whatever the hell you want. And nothing is ever fact-checked or nothing for them. So, I mean, I got banned on Messenger, Todd. You didn't know this either. I got banned on Messenger.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yes, I didn't either until you remember. So the one I posted a few weeks ago, it had President Biden with a young girl. And everybody was covered up. They were both naked. And she is tied to a tree. Okay, well, that was just a still picture that supposedly came from Hunter Biden's laptop. Well, I was sent the video of it, the actual video. I sent it to you, Todd. Well, 2 days later, I sent it to someone else, and I got banned on Messenger. Could not send a message for 3 days because I sent that. They did not want false information spread. They did not want that video spread, so I got banned on Messenger for 3 days. What's false about that? It's Joe Biden with a young, I don't know, Filipino girl, naked, whipping her with a belt.
That was like, I know like this show's super fun or whatever, but that's the single most disturbing thing I've ever watched in my entire life. Being a dad.
Yep. Yeah.
Being a dad.
Yeah.
And why is that?
I swear to the heavens above, I would skin you alive.
My question is, why was that not plastered on every news network in the United States or anywhere else? Right, money. They don't want to stir the pot. But I'm gonna tell you, if that would have been Trump when Trump was president, that would have been on the news for 2 months straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very true.
Very true. As scary as Andy looks with that beard, let's just send him over there. Dude, I'll buy your plane ticket. If I was ever in a fight, I swear to God, like I love you, I love all you other guys, but like Andy's coming with me. He just looks like an ass-kicking machine.
You know what they say about the quiet ones, right? They're the ones you don't mess with the quiet ones.
The silent assassin in the corner. Absolutely.
Assassin, that's right.
Yes.
Silent assassin. I would just like to point out, this is now empty, and I haven't seen like anybody drink anything. Is this a joke? Am I the only one getting half in the bag right now?
No, I to be fair, I'm empty, so I'm just
I'll go through a few beers. I've moved on to the whiskey myself, dude, as well.
Okay, because I haven't seen you cross the Rubicon in a while. I've been watching.
No, but I saw Beans go back in the cabinet and grab the bottle. I saw him go back and get the bottle.
Yeah.
I saw him.
So this, you ever heard the band The Pogues? You familiar with them?
A band?
Yeah, it's an Irish band. They've done a whiskey.
Fairy Tale in New York was their Christmas.
Yeah, Fairy Tale in New York.
Fairy Tale in New York. The Pogues are the band that sang that song. The Pogues and Kirsten McCall.
I'll check them out.
Yeah, but if you can get this in the States, I tell you, this ain't half bad at all. It's an Irish whiskey, so triple distilled, which makes it nice and smooth. Yeah, spot on.
All right. I got you guys are in England. I got a question for all of you. All right, hold on, real quick. How old are all three of you?
48.
48.
37.
37. All right, Andy, you and I are the pups, buddy. The greatest band to ever come out of England.
The Smiths.
Queen.
I'd go Queen, I think.
You're both wrong.
Whatever. I grew up on the Beatles like more than any kid ever. My dad's the biggest Beatles fan of all time. His hero was John Legend. John Lennon.
Your hero, John Legend.
My dad listens to John Legend. I'm sorry, John Lennon. Apparently I wasn't born yet, but apparently John Lennon, he got assassinated. He bawled his eyes out. I have no idea. But so I was just wondering, people over there, current present day, what their thoughts are.
We were was it last week? We were with the Pub Time guys, and they did the 5 for 5, which was top to British bands, and I think the Beatles certainly they were in my top 5. Certainly they were in yours, weren't they? But Queen, I think for me, was number 1. So.
I've been to New York, and I've been to the Dakota building where he was assassinated outside of, and just over the road in Central Park there, you've got Strawberry Fields, which is part of Central Park, and there's the memoriam there to John Lennon. And that day, we didn't see her, but that day apparently Yoko Ono had been down and laid a whole load of flowers out for her. So I have a picture of that somewhere upstairs.
Wow.
But yeah, awesome. It was a pretty special moment. And outside that building, there is an eternal flame as well. Outside the Dakota building, is an eternal flame that burns in memory of John Lennon. So I love John Lennon. Yeah, I love John Lennon too. My
earliest memory in life, actually, is I'm gonna guess 2 years old, maybe 1.5, maybe 2. I was at my parents' house and I'm on the floor and my dad is down the hallway, right? I'm sitting on the floor at one end of the hallway. He's at the other end of the hallway, and he's singing me "Beautiful Boy" by John Lennon. That's my earliest memory of life. So it's pretty cool. But if you guys ever get to go to Cleveland, that's where the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is. Okay, I've been there 12 times. It's the coolest place ever. But I think 2007, my dad and I went out there for it's John Lennon Expo type thing or whatever, or Beatles Expo, one of the two. But you walked in and there was big glass case, humongous glass case. It had his glasses, his pants, his shirt, his shoes, everything he wore the day that he got shot. Blood stains and everything still in it, just hanging there. And it was right there, man. Goosebumps. You know what I mean? It was crazy. But if you guys ever get to go to Cleveland, though, check out the Rock Hall of Fame. I've been there 12 times. It's that awesome.
I remember the day that John Lennon was shot. So, I was same age as Gaz. So I was born in 73. And so he was shot in 1980. I was 7 years old at the time. And I can remember I only remember it really because it didn't mean anything to me. I was in my stepdad's car and it was playing on the radio and the news came through. And I don't remember much about him. I didn't really know who John Lennon was at that time, but I do remember his reaction and you could see the hurt in the dude's eyes. And I remember it to this day, and we're talking, I don't know how many what was it, 1980? So 42 years ago, something like that. So again, same as yourself. Like my wife, I think is about the same age as you, Todd, and so she wasn't even born. I tell her about that, and she doesn't get it. The Beatles passed probably that generation by. So you're very lucky. You're very lucky to have that music in your life, dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good stuff.
And that seems like the right about time to be mentioning Reload Rub and giving them probably a shout out, dude, because I think we need to tell the good folks who are listening in the US. About 30% of our listeners are in the US. There we go. We got the Reload.
I thought Johnny was trying to be sexy for a second. Then I realized.
No.
Then I realized what it was.
I'm all decked out. I'm all decked out in my Reload gear tonight.
Oh yeah. Nah, man.
We'll forward on some of these dick pics.
Joel and Stacy are some of the coolest people ever. I actually shot Joel a text probably about an hour before we started. I said, "Hey, dude, the boys over in England, they're trying Magnum tonight for the very first time. Me and Simo are going to be on there, and we're going to be talking about your stuff. And I just want to let you know that I love you. Thank you for everything. And I got to love you too, buddy." And it's just, I personally have known them since 2016. And as much as I hate to say it, I haven't met them in person yet. But they've been so cool to, Johnny and I, but like the show also, because, I got to do a podcast convention up in Buffalo, New York. They sent me boxes of seasonings, just, hey, here's this stuff, whatever, put it out there. Keep everything except for gas on the way home. Get your kids something while you're there. You know what I mean? Because like we talk about them on the show. We genuinely love their stuff. You guys now know why we love their stuff. You know what I mean? But this right here, I'm like now out of all the smaller bottles, but this right here is a tank. Johnny has tanks of Reload. This one right here was just I placed an order last week, got it in 2 days, folks. And two coworkers of mine who knew I was leaving, I cook for them every freaking day. The only thing I use is Reload Rub. They bought some in the past, and they're like, "Hey, we're out. Like, before you go, you think we could, whatever?" So I got them some. I told them that as a thank you. They sent me 2 of these.
Wow.
That's the type of people that they are.
Yeah.
They appreciate good people. And I think I would still buy this stuff if I didn't know them, because it's that good. But the fact that I know who they are as people, I know how they treat their people, I know how they treat people they consider friends.
And their community. And their community.
Yes.
The stuff they do in their community is amazing.
Yes. That is why, honestly, like forever. You could check out, I cook every single day, folks. Cooking is my #1 hobby in the world. You could check out my spice rack. It's got one logo on it. It's that one.
Yeah.
Legitimately. Anything you need. And I don't have to do that. I'm sure there's other stuff out there. I mean, there is. I used them before I knew them. But they're top-notch people and with a top-notch product. And that is no plug that's getting paid for. I don't get anything for that. Never have. But they're extremely awesome people. And they just put out an extremely awesome product.
Yeah,
Without a doubt.
It is. I've been really impressed with this stuff. It is amazing. And you can sort of see there just how much is exactly left of that one. And it has been phenomenal. While you're giving them a plug, we're going to give a plug to some friends of ours as well. Guys at Ollie's, if you use the promo code, if you are UK based only, use the promo code TallBoyRadio when you go to ollies-ollies.com. You can get 20% off their whole range, whether it's their pretzels, their chocolate pretzels, their olives, and their nuts, their nut mix, and all that kind of stuff. And they do some huge nuts as well. So we talk big balls.
Todd knows about nuts.
Todd knows.
No, I don't know about nuts, damn it.
get yourself over to Ollie's.com, and chocolate covered pretzels are now in 900 Sainsbury local stores up and down the country. So yeah, really enjoyed tonight. Really enjoyed hearing about your balls.
As always, not the balls.
If we're listen, the one thing I did want to say to this, because he's going to talk about this, I'm going to talk about this. Our next episode, we're going to talk about this. We are talking Reload, folks. If you want to order some Reload rub and seasoning, they got a boatload of seasonings out there. Promo code Toddcast at checkout. Save yourself 10%, and go make some freaking awesome food. And did you say chocolate covered olives? By the way,
chocolate covered pretzels.
I thought I heard chocolate, and then I heard olives.
We do olives, and we do. Well, we don't do. Actually, I'm taking credit for their work now. We don't. Yeah, so they do olives. They do chocolate covered pretzels, regular flattened pretzels, and a nut mix.
Nuts. Yeah.
Oh, and just for the record, that is when Todd mentioned his promo code. That is U.S. based only right now. I don't think they're not shipping to the UK. So when you guys are ready for more, you just let me know.
Yeah. Well, I say about 30% of our listeners are based in the US, so there's a good percentage of people that are going to get to hear that, and hopefully we'll place an order Reload, and the UK ones will hopefully place an order with Ollie's. So their goodbyes first. We'll hand it over to our guest to say goodbye.
Go, Simo.
Gentlemen, as always, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having us on. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Sorry, we've had to push it back a couple times, family commitments and sickness and everything else. I'm glad we finally got together and made it happen.
Absolutely. Folks,
thank you very much for having us. This is always like the coolest thing. The greatest honor in the world being a podcaster is when other podcasters want you on the show. And I've always said there's no greater honor. It's cool to have interviews, it's cool to have people on or whatever. But when you are asked, man, the highest compliment that you could have. And, from him and myself and the whole show and all the listeners who will be listening to this, thank you guys for awesome hospitality. Thanks for eating before us, so we were starving. I could have ate this thing about 2 hours ago. That's no big deal. Next episode, if we are able to come back on, I want to talk about Andy's beer products. I keep mine short because I can't compete with that. So maybe if I get a little bit of some beer tips, I'll have myself a banger like he does. But folks, honestly though, thank you so very much. I love you guys. You guys are absolute rock stars in my eyes, and I appreciate you very much.
Oh, dude, you're more than welcome.
Absolutely. Just big thank you from me. It's great, Johnny, Todd, having you guys on. Really, really look forward to when chatting to you guys, and can't wait for the next time already. Love talking balls with Todd. It's been an absolute insight. Can't wait till the next time. See you later, guys.
Can we cheers the balls? There's been a whole bunch of male stuff happening. I'm not sure why. But can we get some cheers to some balls, please?
Yeah, here's the balls.
Here's the balls.
Cheers all you want, and I'm not cheering the balls.
It looks like you're talking into
Johnny's hot sauce.
Andy didn't either. Andy didn't cheers to the balls either.
No.
And he's the lover, not a fighter. I don't get it.
Not a lover of balls.
Me neither, bro.
It's been good. It's been a while. I think I only ever bid for two reasons. One's laziness, and two is just to catch all my food and beer I spill. So I get to serve it again.
You remind me of a Viking.
That's a hell. He does. That's a hell of a flavor saver right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm thinking like a double pony off of those deals. You know what I mean? You could freaking rock that, dude. I'd walk into a nightclub, people would scatter.
I think I have to. The middle bit don't grow very well. It's quite short.
I thought you trimmed it that way.
No. I think it's because I sit here doing it. I do that all day, so it just grows out there. Not
That's awesome.
So much there.
You braid those bits.
That's what I was gonna say. He'd look like Coolio doing Gangster's Paradise in 1995, but at the bottom of his chin.
Well, that just leaves it to me to close it out. And just throwing back to something that Todd said there as well, he mentioned Buffalo, New York. So as this episode drops on YouTube, the day or two after that, we are guesting on the Designated Quizzes podcast out of Buffalo, New York. So we're going to be taking them on, drinking a few cocktails, and hopefully trying to avoid the punishment shot, which we took last time because we're generous and we're kind and everything. But thank you very much for listening. Go buy some Reload Rub. Go buy some Ollies. And we'll look forward to the next time, when we're all going to be growing full-on beards. Take care.
Peace.